You know what was funny is they had to add that scream in later because
Yeah, so
if he
scared the
actually had
spider.
screamed, that spider would have bit him.
Oh yeah, big time.
So he was just like going, like not making even a noise. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that must have been nerve wracking too.
Oh. Yeah,
If there was a spider on my face, like a big spider like that one, I would piss, shit, my pants would be soiled in all different kinds of ways. I would need probably a new shirt even. Um, what what do you remember of elementary school?
Hell.
Hell, it was horrible.
Pretty much. Really, the only light that got me through elementary school was my best friend Michaela, who I dated on and off for a couple of years.
Oh.
But yeah, she was like really like. How to describe my bestest friend? Well, she was okay in elementary school. She was cute. You know, she had nice blonde hair, nice, not like pudgy, but she had a little bit of curve on her face, and her voice. Holy cow, bro! She could sing. She still can, as far as I know.
You still talk to her?
No, we actually fell out of contact after my first year of college.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, some people come in your life and some people go.
That's true. Elementary school, from what I can remember, and I remember very little, school didn't start getting hard academically and mentally till around middle school for me. Honestly, I moved around a lot during elementary school.
I did too. Not a lot, really. I was in the same school from kindergarten to the first half of 5th grade. Then they kicked me out because I was too, I think the word they used was I was too rambunctious.
Oh, you and I would have gotten along in school.
No. Honestly, I don't think we would have.
You don't think so?
No, and here's why. When I was a kid, I was a bit of an asshole.
Ugh.
So I would have probably picked on you because you were,
Pudgy.
a little bit round.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's probably good we didn't know each other back then.
I just remember that's the word they often used for me too, was rambunctious. And the only reason they used that was because I even had to take medicine for this. I was very hyper as a kid.
So, like ADHD level hyper?
I have ADHD. That was what caused it. And
I'm ADD, but I didn't get that diagnosed till high school. So
I got it diagnosed when I was young, but I wasn't told about it until I got older so I could understand it. But yeah, I have ADHD and like mild autism. And,
okay, that part I knew.
But and that's what caused me to move schools all the time, was because I would not be comfortable in the environment, and I had to often, because a lot of the teachers and like faculty members I had back then were jerks.
Yeah, my second
Not to like everybody, but just to me because I was different.
Yeah, my second teacher was like that to me. My mom did not like it.
Yeah. Oh man, you should have seen my mom. She would just wait for someone at the school to piss her off. Like, I later found out it was like, yeah, you don't piss off Mama Bear.
Yeah, trust me. As a guy who's the son of a New Yorker who was in the army,
yeah.
No.
You don't touch that one.
You don't, especially when her firstborn, almost died at birth.
Yeah, no, I'd imagine that would make her very protective.
Oh man. Okay. Second grade was my hardest year, not just because my teacher was an asshole, but also because that was the year I learned about Emily.
Oh.
So yeah, that's not really information an 8-year-old can handle.
Yeah, and shouldn't have to bear either.
Yeah, and my second grade teacher made it worse because, I was a bit of a troublesome kid, but I had my good days, right?
Right.
So she basically tried to make me believe that I had a split personality or an evil twin.
What?
Yeah. And she used my middle name. My middle name, Thomas, was the good twin, and Noah was the bad twin.
What the hell kind of a teacher was that?
One that I hope is either dead or got fired.
Wow, that's just horrible.
She was old back then, whatever.
I remembered a funny story from second grade. Do you remember, they might still have them, in like stores, there's these quarter machines, and you get a toy that's in like a bubble container.
Yeah, yeah.
They made they might still make them of SpongeBob.
The ones I saw were like things like they were called squishies. They were like little squishy. I think they were supposed to be pencil toppers, but no one ever used them like that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I remember those. I actually used those in school. They also made like these little toys that were SpongeBob characters.
Huh? I didn't see those. There were other things.
They had everybody. They had SpongeBob, Squidward, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Sandy, everybody. They had everyone. Nice. And I had a friend back then. Oddly enough, his name was Austin, and me and him were the biggest SpongeBob geeks in the whole school. And it was right around the time the first movie was going to come out.
Yep.
And me and him collected those bubble toys. We were so excited, like, about the movie coming out. We were so ecstatic. And
nice.
I remember I had a good majority of the bubble toys. The only one I didn't have was Patrick. And my buddy comes into school one day, and he has Patrick.
Ooh.
And not only does he have Patrick, but he gives it to me. I know, right? It was so awesome.
Nice.
And just as my luck would have it, when he gives it to me, the teacher calls us out for disrupting because we were kind of talking in the middle of a lesson.
Okay.
And I feel like I let my friend down because then she took the toy away from me.
Aww.
And then she sat me down next to her desk so that way I wouldn't, act up again. And it was just about time to go home. The buses were about to start loading up. And I noticed the teacher looked away for a second. She wasn't looking at her desk. And I saw the toy right there, right by my hand. Thought, yep, gonna do it. And when she let out the class, I grabbed it and left.
Nice.
And I made sure my buddy knew that I had it safe and I would protect it. I still have it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was so sure that I would not let him down that I held on to it for all these years.
Nice. When I was a kid, like my parents didn't want me giving away toys or trading toys. So whenever I would do it with my friends, my parents would find out and I'd have to trade them back the next day. But the one time my parents actually let it go was, I can't remember what year this was, but it was the year Episode 3 came out.
Episode 3 of what?
Of Star Wars.
Oh, duh.
And so my friend who saw that, I honestly didn't see that movie until I actually turned 13, which was years away.
Yeah, years later.
Anyway, so my friend Daniel, who was as big a Star Wars nerd as I was, he was my friend for 2 years, and then he fell to the dark side, as I say, and i.e. he went in league with the bullies.
Oh dear.
Anyway, that year when we were still close friends, he actually got me a Star Wars poster. I had that thing hanging up for years on my door.
Which poster? Like, was it a specific movie?
It was Episode 3, but it was like it said Star Wars on it. It had Darth Vader's helmet.
Ooh, nice.
And then like right above the eyes of Darth Vader's helmet, on the big dome part of the top of his helmet, you saw a silhouette of Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yep, I had that thing for years, and it was awesome.
That's neato.
And okay, funny story about me and Michaela.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 5th grade, because that was the year I turned 10. Ben 10 was the biggest thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
On my birthday, which was a school day, and it was a short day, bonus, we were playing. We always play imaginary games at recess and lunch, because that's what we like to do. And I was pretending to be Ben 10, and I was like, it's hero time! And I pretended to slap down the Omnitrix.
Yeah.
And she says, if you like Ben 10, you'll never guess what I got you for your birthday. And I go, ooh, did you get me the Omnitrix? And she was like, darn it, how'd you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had that thing for a month before it got stolen at the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
I have an interesting story about the Boys and Girls Club, but you reminded me of something. My buddy I had back in 2nd grade, Austin, after we saw the SpongeBob movie, we watched it so many times that we eventually got it down word for word, and we would do it on the recess ground. Because I would be SpongeBob, he would be Patrick, and we would just do it beat for beat, the whole thing. I loved the way, and this was just the way Austin talked, I loved the way when he said, a double blowing a bubble baby doesn't belong out here in man's country.